next we're going to be looking at how do we deploy our application to Heroku. Heroku is pretty popular in the Ruby community, but it turns out they actually do host like PHP and Node and you name it. They'll be able to host all kinds of different apps. So it's pretty simple to get up and running. It's Git based, which is pretty nice as well. So we want to go and create a Heroku account, sign into your dashboard if you don't already have one, and create new app from that drop down. Then we're going to create an app called Here Now. That's delicious. And it's going to say that's available. Obviously, don't call yours Now That's Delicious because I just took it. Go ahead and click this button, create app. That's going to spin up a little server for us. And so now what you need to do before you even get going is you have to install the Heroku CLI, which will give us a command like this, Heroku, and that will allow us to run our actual commands from there. So if you do not already have that installed, just go ahead and grab the latest installer for whatever you're running. Ideally, you're on OS X and you can just run brew install Heroku. If you're on Windows, looks like they have a nice little next installer. And I guess OS X, they even have a nice little next installer. And if you're on Linux, then good luck to you. I'm joking. It should be, if you're on Linux, you know how to copy paste these commands. Anyways, so once you are there, go ahead and run Heroku login via your terminal. It's going to ask you for your username and your password, and then you will be logged in on your terminal as Heroku. Then we want to go into our existing Git application. So it looks like right now I have some, I changed my package.json. So I'm just going to add that real quick. Good. So I am up to date. And the way you can tell if you're up to date, if you don't have a snazzy thing like me, you just say git status and you are up to date. Good. Next, what you want to do is if you have an existing Git repo, which we do, you simply just take this, don't copy the $, and paste that in there. Git remote. Now that's delicious. And what it did is it created a remote on your Git repo that you can then push to actually Git. So all we have to do now is make sure we've added and committed, which we have because we're in green. And then you simply git push Heroku master. And how this works is that you're going to have like GitHub or GitLab or whatever it is that you're pushing your Git code to, but then you can also do a git push to Heroku and have your application up and running on that. So I'm going to give that a push, and it's going to actually upload everything that I have. This will take a little bit since we have all those different images that need to be uploaded. While we're waiting for that, we didn't yet talk about environmental variables, and there's no way to include files in Heroku, but not include them in Git. So what we need to do for our environmental variables is to set them via our dashboard. So I think we can go to settings and you see config variables. This is the exact same thing as having a variables.env file, but we're actually running it via the dashboard. So we'll say reveal, there is none. And what I'll need you to do now is to go to your variables.env file and just go ahead and move them all over. So I'm gonna move my .now ones over because that's my production ready one. So the key is going to be node end, take the equals off. You simply just need to go one by one, pasting all of these over. Whew. All right, I got them all up and running. Let's go back to our terminal and see how it's going. Looks like it just did it. And it says deployed to deployed to Heroku. You can click on it and we might be able to see our app. We'll see. There we go. It's up and running. What might happen is if your app tries to start before you're done with these environmental variables in the back end, then it's going to crash because it can't find these environmental variables. So if that's the case, you can go to your app and you can restart all dynos. And what that will do is it'll just kill your app and try to restart it with the npm start command again. So that was very simple again. So we've got our stores here. You'll be able to click through to everything, log in, no problem with all that up and running. So that's two of like sort of these really simple hosting. Now let's look at how we can actually do it with DigitalOcean, which is like sort of you got to build your own server and get a little bit more dirty while you're doing it.